All right, guys, before we move on, just to let you know, if you have certain watches that maybe you want to trade in, or perhaps you have a watch you've been looking for that you really want, but you're not sure how you can get it, we can actually help do it for you. Just fill in the details in the Google form in the comment section or the description. Either we'll already have what you want, or we will do everything we can to get it for you. So yeah, comment section and description. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Hope you enjoyed the previous video. So today we will be talking about dive watches. So let's dive right in. Okay, I know you guys are very excited for this topic because it's I can sense the excitement already.
Oh yeah.
So anyone of you all, give it a go. How you best describe a dive watch, and of course, what's it for?
You know what? Can I do this? I really love to do this.
The pleasure is yours, man.
All right, man. Okay, let's talk about one of my favorite type of watches ever, which is the dive watch.
Okay.
I'm gonna pick one good one to show you. I'm gonna choose this. What we call the Seiko.
Okay.
Yeah, this is called a Seiko. There's a nickname called Samurai.
Got it.
It's called a Samurai. Now, why exactly called Samurai? Let's talk about it another time. But for a dive watch, usually what you have is a rotating bezel. Usually
single direction.
Yeah, single direction.
Okay.
Single direction. Yeah,
Okay,
single
got
direction
it.
bezel. So you usually have this, right? And then you usually also have a screw down crown. Now, a screw down crown means that you could, unlock this, and then you can wind your watch, and then you will have to, because this is a dive watch, lock it back down so that the water doesn't get in.
Okay.
Yes. And of course, you need not mention, no need to mention that this is also a water resistant watch.
Obviously.
Can go up to 100 meters, 200 meters would be the more common one, but 300 meters, is possible. And usually that would be a more expensive model.
So just to follow up on that, why is it that there is this meter limit? What happens if you break the limit? What happens to the watch?
Okay, if you're going to go technical on this, the deeper you can go, right, the more expensive the watch can be. Yes.
I see.
It takes a certain engineering to achieve such depth for a watch. There are certain dive watch that has this thing called the helium escape valve, if I say it correctly. So that means that it allows certain gases like helium, because the helium gas is really small, so it can get into a watch no matter how tight you make the watches. So you want to release the gas through that valve, right? Yes. But for Seiko divers, they apparently don't need that helium escape valve, because they made it so tight. So, to make it so tight at a depth like 300 meters, where it's what we call a high saturation or saturation diver, right? Small gases like helium can still go in, right? So in order for them to make it so deep and then it can still function, because it's really important for a diver, well, it gets more expensive, like a Marine Master for the Seiko range, which can be at least maybe 10 times more expensive.
Okay.
300 versus 3K.
Correct.
Yeah, okay. So other characteristics of a dive watch here.
Okay, hold on.
Yes. And you can't really tell because it's really bright here.
Yes.
But it has a really bright lume. Lume meaning to say that, the green thing that
shines out from the indexes.
shines from light. Yeah.
Yes.
I mean, it makes sense, right? Because sometimes it's dark underwater.
Yeah.
It is always dark underwater. Yeah. So they will need that lume. And Seiko lume is, I think it's called Lumi Bright. It's one of the more popular ones, because they think it's brighter than Rolex or Omega. Personally, I don't think so.
Okay.
I think they're all lume, but they say Seiko lasts longer. Never had a chance to try it out, to be in the dark for 12 hours or 10 hours yet, but we shall see. Okay, and then finally, maybe we will see always that it's made of very water and seawater, of course, friendly materials.
So how does SeaWater mess things up, I guess, for specifically, does it cause more corrosion?
Sorry?
Yes,
I'm going
Mike.
to throw that question to you. Yeah.
SeaWater and watches, does it cause more corrosion? How does it affect?
Actually, I mean, in terms of you can look at most of the, I think all diver watch basically the users stainless steels. But I think
stainless steel, okay.
Yeah, recently Rolex in the recent Watches and Wonders 2003, they actually launches a titanium watch, and then this is the first time after so many donkey years, Rolex decided to use a new material on their divers watch, which is a titanium.
We will go back to that right
We
at
will
the
go
end
back
of the
to
video.
that.
Very exciting. But
Yes.
I want to go back into this dive watch thing before we look into your collection. And that is like, how do you pick a dive watch? What are the must-haves? Of course, everyone is subjective. Of course, look, feel, all that we all know. But are there some must-haves when you look?
All right. So for me, I think when you talk about dive watches, I think two brands and two models straight away strike my mind. One is definitely the iconic or classic Rolex Submariner. So Submariner is the one that when you talk about a dive watch, you will relate it to Submariner, and when you talk about Submariner, it will automatically relate you to Rolex.
Right.
Or when you talk about Rolex, it will first thing relates you to Submariner. Right. So this is something
that's why
it's already
Submariner,
or in short, is Sub, right?
Right.
The other brand is Omega, which is the Seamaster. So I think that if you are fans of James Bond 007, yes, this English agent has been wearing Omega Seamaster for the longest period of time. One of the series they did James Bond did wore a Rolex, but throughout the whole franchise, I think James Bond wore more Omegas than Rolex. So when it comes to pick, these are the two best diver brands that are so-called two divers models that I love the most. And then look, I think if you are wearing it for a real diving, maybe Jensen will. Mostly of my diving is desk dive, so which means I dive into the desk in my table, so I don't have a chance to go for
dive into all the papers.
Desk dive,
like Scrooge McDuck, right?
Okay. So usually a lot of people, when they really wear it for diving, first of all, I think is you need to wear outside the diver suit that you have, right?
I see.
So the extension clamps on the bracelet itself is super important, because you have to expand it to just fit into your this diver suit, right? So you need to like immediately, like for example, for Rolex, they have the best bracelet that can actually without resizing it, they can on the spot just pull out extra
interesting
link on the bracelet itself, and they just wear it. The second thing also, because when you are deep under the sea, like what Jensen said, the lights itself are pretty much little. So actually the lume itself is very important. The size of the watch itself is very important. So you can see majority of the diver watches, their size is big. It is quite big. And then when JT talk about when you go deeper, actually the size of the watch actually grows bigger as well. So the deeper the watch is, the diver watch is going to, the thicker or the bigger is the size. So it's like Rolex last year they have launched their ultimate.
How big is it?
It's called the Deep Sea Challenge. The ultimate. Oh my gosh, I think it's what 50 over which I don't think
Mariana Trench stuff. Really,
I don't think a normal person can actually pull it off. Unless you are like Sylvester Stallone or
maybe
you are like Terminator, so, then you can. Or else I think it's pretty hard, because I think that is their answer to Omega's ultra deep.
Fair enough.
Yes, correct.
So maybe I'll go to your collection, your pick for today.
Oh no, actually I wanted to show because he mentioned this thing called the
extension.
The extension class. Yes. Yeah, I just want to show you guys how it looks like.
Okay.
So you see, this is the normal class for a diver.
Yeah.
Right. So if you are talking about metallic one, rubber can also be a diver watch, but you know the more popular ones is the metal one. So usually what you do is that you unlock this one and then you open this class. This is the normal class.
Got it.
This is the normal one you use on a non-diving situation. But within a diving situation, as he said, you have to wear the watch outside of the suit, not inside the suit.
Yeah.
Right. So what you see here is that there is an additional extension that allows you to widen.
Yes.
I see.
Correct.
Right? Your strap. And then you close it like that. So you can wear it on a bigger wrist.
Yes.
So this is called the extension clasp.
Correct.
Yeah, this one.
So Mike, I'll get back to Jensen on his pick of a dive watch that he wants to show off today. He has brought an entire box, so I need to give him some time to pick which one he wants to show.
Have to, man. Have
so
to.
What have you got for us today?
No, I'm just wearing a vintage.
Okay, hold on. All right.
A vintage Seiko.
Can you show it here? Yep.
So this is a Seiko 10 bar, which is way out of production for a very, very long time already. Yeah, so I like it so much is because of the vintage vibes itself. And majority of the Seiko divers, the modern one, the crown itself is at 4 o'clock, whereas this one itself is still at 3 o'clock. So maybe Jensen can show you what's the difference between a 4 o'clock.
Hold on,
because I know exactly what it's trying to say.
Yeah,
I have an example to show you.
Of 4 o'clock and a 3 o'clock.
All right, so you see this thing? This is called a crown.
Okay.
One other thing I say that, this crown, it also is accompanied by a crown guard, which is this thing that surrounds a crown. So this crown guard and the crown is often at 3, like his, like a submariner.
Yep.
Yeah, for the Rolex, it's always at 3. But for this one, it's at 4. Or to be a little bit precise, it's around 340, 330. Yeah. So why this is, because when it comes to Seiko, right, their design here, when they put it at 4, is to allow your
comfortable.
more comfortable. So you allow your wrist to do this without feeling that there's a crown there to, disturb your wrist movement. I don't know how important this movement is, but it does feel a little bit different.
Yes, yes.
So if that's Mike's pick, what's yours, Jensen?
Oh, right.
That you brought today, obviously not all the dive watches.
Oh, honestly, right, if you ask me to choose, which is my favorite here, it's so difficult. I can't part ways.
Yeah, it's like trying to choose your favorite kit, right?
All right. So I intended to, I bought some of these watches before. It's called the SKX series.
Okay.
We have here the 007, the SKX 007. We have
can bring it a layer closer, yes.
Yeah, sure. We have the SKX 007. This is 009, what they call the Pepsi, because it has the Pepsi color schemes. And then this orange one is the SKX 11. So I bought a few of these, actually. I wanted to just flip them, trade them for a quick profit.
Yeah, when you first called me, asked me, hey, dude, this price can take a lot. I said, just buy as much as possible. If you still have this price, just buy and keep.
I recall it was such a rush of adrenaline. Okay, so it's my first time flipping watches. And then it says these watches
just buy and keep.
Can sell.
Confirm can sell.
Confirm can sell. Confirm the whole value will go up in price. And I was like, okay, let's do it, man.
Let's do it.
And I bought it, and I bought 3 of it. 3 or 4 of it, I think. Yeah. And I can't part ways with it. I can't part ways with that. So I'm not, realizing any profits there.
Correct.
The point is, so I love diver watches. And I love diver watches like his watch here. That is out of production.
Look at the price, the market. The price actually went up.
Crazy.
Yeah. Crazy. It did went up for all the SKX.
380 Sing. It's now, I think some of them listing at 680.
Yep.
Now, guys, if you have a watch in mind that you want us to review that we haven't reviewed yet, just let us know in the comments, right? We'll definitely respond to that and get to you ASAP.
So today, I think choosing my favorite one would be quite tough, but I'm going to choose one that maybe suits you.
Okay.
Since, we're doing this content to choose a watch for you.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So I think that you might want to start with something that is a little more classic.
Okay.
Right, so the SKX is really classic, but this one gets a lot of attention.
Okay.
Yeah, it's called a Seiko Samurai, as I mentioned just now. So this one here, it looks bulky. Now, this is a wonderful part about the Seiko Samurai. It looks really bulky, right?
Yes.
Yeah, it looks really bulky. I mean, it's supposed to be bulky. It's a watch that's supposed to be very functional. And the thing is, what I like about the Samurai is that while it looks bulky, when you wear it, it actually sits very comfortably on the wrist. I think that's one of the key designs of Samurai that makes it so popular. Yeah.
Because of the shorter lugs itself. So actually it makes the whole watch
precisely.
Looks smaller than it's supposed to be.
And what I love about this is that the lugs is very angular. If you take a look, it's very angular. And then while it is bulky and thick, but because of that angular lug, right, it actually sits like it's not that bulky at all on the wrist. Especially if you have a nice looking gym wrist.
Yes. Nice forearms, right?
Yeah, forearms. Yeah. So I really like this watch, and I'm really curious. I'm very, I'm looking forward to see it on your wrist. See whether if you like it.
Yeah. I have a second opinion. I think that maybe MJ will like the MJ will like this.
Okay.
Yeah. I think MJ will like the Stargate more.
Yeah. I'll show you the Stargate.
Let's see which one you like more.
Okay.
If you watch the show Stargate, which I'll be honest, I didn't watch. more of a Star Wars guy more than a Stargate or Stargate.
It's a black and gold, okay.
It's black and gold. It's really fancy.
Yeah, fancy.
This is my fancy dive watch. You're not going to wear this watch to
This is what scammers wear, man. Just to
impress people. No. Scammers wear fake Rolexes. That's what they wear.
Full gold.
Full gold.
Fake full gold.
This is just a very classy
it looks beautiful.
amount of gold.
Yeah.
But it's called Stargate because of this thing. Now, if you go and search and Google Stargate, there is this gate.
And you look at the side profile of the watch itself, it's very curvy.
It's very curvy.
Yeah, very curvy. So I think maybe this MJ might like the Stargate more.
Maybe I think so. But I mean, I'm not a fan of the Jubilee anyway. So definitely very interesting.
So that wasn't for the Samurai I showed you just now. It's not a Jubilee. It's actually
it's an oyster.
Oyster.
Yeah.
Okay.
Jubilee is this one.
Basically, any steel or titanium sort of wrap. What we call it?
That one is called bracelet. Generic is called bracelet. It's called bracelet.
Usually, I'm not a fan of.
So this is called a Jubilee.
I know we can keep going on and on. I mean, it's very interesting, but just share me a little bit about the pricing, right? Compared to dress watches, which we talked about in the previous video, what is like, do the prices match, or do you expect dive watches to be more expensive, less expensive?
Honestly, I think the price has gone up a little bit over the years.
I see.
Right? Even for older models, which I could get, like I said just now, 300 plus Sing, which is about maybe 1,000 ringgit.
Now it's at 1,007, 1,008. Yeah.
Now you're talking about close to 2K ringgit.
And this is in the time frame of
2 years.
2 years.
2 years.
Yeah.
I'm not joking, seriously. Yeah. I'm not joking at all.
50%, 100%, almost 100% in 2 years' time. But it is still very affordable for the kind of watch that you're getting. Yeah. Because it's functional. And you see, when it comes to sports watches or, diver watches, right? It's durable.
Yes.
It can last. You could give it to your kids.
So another question I have is, you can use dive watches as a dress watch also, right?
Oh, yeah.
So it's a bit multifunctional.
It depends.
Okay.
Look, I mean, if you are 007, I'm pretty sure you can wear a tuxedo with a SeaMaster. So nowadays, I think that there is no clear line that where you need to wear a dress watch when you need to wear a tuxedo, right?
Okay, let me clarify. You can't wear a dive watch like a dress watch. They are fundamentally different watches.
Correct.
Yes, but you can wear a dive watch in a dress watch occasion.
Yeah,
you could replace that dress watch with a dive watch.
It's more flexible,
Yes, it's more
But you
flexible.
can't do the reverse, right? Dress watch, dive watch, I mean, it will koyak, right?
I mean, when's the time that you really need a dress watch?
Let me see. I mean, I know that currently now there are a lot of brands trying to make dress watch a bit more sportier and make sure that they are like sports watch. But to me, that a sports watch itself, there are a few characteristics as we mentioned earlier, that you need to have some thick bezels outside.
You have a video on sports watches.
But for dress watch, it's used to be like you need to go underneath your shirt, your nice shirt, go underneath your tuxedo, so it has to be basically a bit more thinner. And that's why we mentioned that dive watch can't be thin, as thin as dress watch, right? So that's the reason why that nowadays the diver watches are trying to make it a bit more slimmer, make it a bit more like you can wear it in a dress watch occasion, a more formal occasion, like how James Bond put it off, right? And then now there are some dress watch who makes it a bit more bulky, a bit more sporty. Like I think Lange did a very good job. It is a German brand. They did very, very good job at their dress watch and make their dress watch a bit more sportier.
Patek Philippe are bulky as well.
Yeah, Patek Philippe are very much sporty nowadays. Their dress watch are very sporty, yes.
So if you are enjoying the video so far, always remember to support us by liking, commenting, and subscribing. Click on the notification bell so whenever new videos pop, you'll know it right away. Thank you so much for sharing about dive watches. Definitely, we will 100% revisit this topic, right? We don't want to make this like a 2-hour video. But we're going to start a new segment right at the end to talk about something exciting that's happening in the world watches. Yeah. It's not related to the main topic of the video.
Yeah, sure.
And I know there's something happening with Watch and Wonders, right?
Yes.
So maybe, Mike, can you share with us What's getting you excited?
I mean that Watches and Wonders just happened on 27th of March. Like
what is that? Is that like an event or is it?
It's like the event of the whole watch industry.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah, so it's like the
so it's
event.
like the Davos. The Davos.
Yeah, man. You need to be there. You need to cover the event.
Okay.
If not, you're
right.
out. You are totally out.
So I know industry. Before this filming, you said something's big happening.
Yeah,
Rolex, right?
yeah. I mean, on the Watches and Wonders, usually before the event happened itself, when you talk about the biggest hype across the whole world is actually the brand Rolex, right?
Yeah.
So even before the Watches and Wonders, a lot of sites, a lot of so-called pages, a lot of watch enthusiasts, watch experts are started to predict what is going to happen this year to Rolex. So even Watch Investment ourselves, if you go to our Facebook, before that, we did so many rounds of prediction. And to be honest, we got it right correctly, one of the prediction this year, and that is the hardest prediction. For last year, we totally got it wrong. The previous year, we got it wrong. The previous year, we got it right, where we say that they are coming up with a new pyramid. Yes, and we got it right. And this year, we think that they are going to actually rename the Cellini collections and rename to another name which sounds a bit more Rolex rather than Cellini. But Cellini, I think personally, I like the design, I like the watch itself. Maybe the name itself is a bit more feminine. So I mean, what are you wearing? I'm wearing a Cellini. I don't feel like I'm wearing a, So today, this year, they are a lot of changes from Rolexes. I'm so excited. On 27th of March itself, my page almost posted like 16 posts just related to only Rolex. That's how crazy it was, right? Wow. So I think a few days ago, when I was also interviewed by BFM, I spoke a bit about the Watches and Wonders. Look, I mean that one of the questions that the host asked me is like, Rolex is not a public listed company. So how can you benefit or how can you actually make money?
But Rolex is a non-profit also, right?
No, it was never a non-profit. It was run by a family foundation.
Yes, it's owned by a non-profit, but fundamentally it's a business. For-profit business.
Yeah, it's a for-profit business. Yeah. So they are run by family foundation. Okay. So usually when we talk about the big four, like the Richard Mille, the Patek Philippe, and also AP and Rolex, right? These are the four independent brands owned by families.
Right.
They are not driven by big companies like Omega is under like Swatch Group. Yeah, then you have LVMH, you got Richemont that owns Cartier and the rest, right? So those are very profit oriented. And when you want to buy or you want to make some money, you buy their so-called listed entities shares, right? So for Rolexes, I told the host that look, actually Rolex make it so easy for everybody. The easiest way to share profit with Rolex as a company that makes so much money is just to buy the watch from Rolex. It's like owning a shares, right? So I mean, MJ, you are an expert in the share markets, right? So every year you'll be looking about when is the banks, when are the stocks paying dividends, where is my dividend, where is the dividend, and you always need to guess like this year how much is the dividend. Maybe looking into the past history, the track record.
Roughly
this month, roughly is this much, and then sometimes you might get some heart attack where
they don't announce.
They don't announce,
or they announce more than you expect.
Or sometimes they announce lesser than what you expect, right? Then for Rolex, it's pretty much standard. So every year, early of the year, in January, Rolex will announce that they increase price worldwide. So without you need to inform or remind Rolex that, hey, it's January, it's time for you to increase the price. No, every year. So for many, many years, Rolex has been increasing their price annually in between about 4 to 6%. Last year was crazy. Last year was about 6 to 10%.
Wow.
Yep. This year is a bit more okay. This year is in between about 5 to 9 or 4 to 8-9%. Okay. So which means that it's like actually a dividend. And
because the old models, right?
Yeah.
Increases its price.
Yes.
Based on its base price.
Yes.
That Rolex, that's
correct. So last year, what you pay for Submariner is different from what you are paying for a Submariner. Same product, same spec, same thing this year.
But I mean, difference or at least 4-6%.
Yes, exactly. So you don't have to worry that the watches itself will it's actually a good product to hedge against the inflation, right?
100%.
So I mean that you know that if you are looking for the dividend, and then that is how I told people that look, this is how you actually profit from Rolex itself. And you know that the crown of the models inside under Rolex models is actually Daytona. So Daytona is the hardest to get. The most complicated movements, the only one and only chronograph movements under Rolex. How can you make more profit from a already very successful and profitable model? The answer is cut it off, discontinue it, make the whole world crazy.
Interesting.
You are not going to get it anymore, even though you are rich. No more. So they totally discontinue the whole Daytona range and reintroduce a new Daytona, which to me, look, I mean, if you are not a watch enthusiast or collectors, you might not see the difference. But for us, we really see there is a huge difference between the old Daytona and the new Daytona, right? And that is this year is also the first year in the whole entire history of Rolex, they managed to showcase a transparent back case, which means that they let you actually appreciate the movement. But it's only in certain models like the Daytona Platinum and also the Perpetual 1908, which is the new line.
The listeners or the audience or you guys have a lot of pictures to include in this,
this
video.
But I think it's good because we are summarizing the whole. This is like a few days ago.
It's a huge event. Lots of brands. And he's talking about maybe what?
Just one brand.
2%
of the whole event.
You know what? I definitely will be talking a lot about this throughout the next few months.
So yes, I think Rolex Daytona is something that I need to mention about it. Second thing is, as I mentioned, the Cellini range is totally cut off, renamed it as a Perpetual. So the first model under Perpetual is 1908. There is a reason why 1908, because 1908 is the year where actually Rolex was officially trademarked, the word Rolex, right? So 1908 is to commemorate the year itself, right? So thanks to my God, Hans Winsdorf, and that is why Rolex nowadays, right? And looking at how Rolex is rebranding or relaunching the Cellini range, which is now called the Perpetual, and with its recent acquire of new facilities. So a lot of people say that, hey, look, Rolex is actually going to have more supply in the market because recently they have just bought two new facilities that are going to increase their production. Look, guys, as Jensen mentioned, Rolex is not a charity company. They are still in business. They are a business. This is a company that is running in business. They got profit and losses, right? It is not for charity. Look, it is not. If they know that the current marketing strategy is working and they're making money out of it, there's no reason why they want to flood the whole market with Submariners everywhere.
You see, it's very funny that people says Rolex is a non-profit company because whatever they are doing, right, they're doing it really well.
Really well.
They're making profits.
Really well. So if you ask me, I think that they are looking into new models, new range. They are moving uptrend to another level of watches because look at the Holy Trinity, which is the PP, AP, and VC. They are there for so long. But look at Rolex, even though so-called they are not there yet, but their price is almost like them already. So I think they are moving into some of the high-end watches by using the new facilities. And then second thing, look, I think we are quite proud of it because we managed to predict it correctly because nobody thinks that they are going to reintroduce a new line under Rolex. And 2 or 3 days after Rolex says that they're going to launch a new line, Patek Philippe says that next year they will launch a new line also, right? Focus a bit more on the affordable watches, similar design maybe, or more sporty watch kind of version. So if you ask me,
exciting.
Yeah, I mean it's either one brand is going up, the other brand maybe is going sideways, or I'm not too sure. But if you ask me, I don't think so. Rolex is going to produce or is going to flood the market with Submariners, Daytonas, or GMTs. I think they have plans for their new facilities. And then second thing, last year, I think Rolex launched their so-called certified pre-owned program, where nowadays you can buy a second-hand watch from Rolex itself. You can buy a second-hand Rolex watch from Rolex itself. And Rolex is telling you, my second-hand Rolex watch is more expensive than my new Rolex watch.
Wow.
So what is it trying to tell you? As a so-called open and closed inverted comma, a shareholder, a collector, or owner of a piece of Rolex watch, I feel so happy because you're telling the whole world that, look, my second-hand watch itself is even more expensive than my new watch. So, well, that gives you an answer. Win-win.
There's a very clear way to profit off from owning a nice piece of Rolex watch. Is what I'm seeing here. Because not all watches, not all models, not all brands carry the same type of profitability.
Exactly.
They don't hold value. For example, Omega is very weird. Omega is a really nice timepiece, but at the end of the day, they just don't appreciate as much as Rolex does. But even some of the Seikos.
Yeah, but the trend is coming. So when we talk about 2 years ago, we talk about if you have if you can't afford the big four, which just now the four names that we mentioned about, try looking at Omega, try looking at Tudors, and then last year, to be honest, Cartier really I didn't expect that it actually overtook Omegas. Now they are the second largest productions, and also second largest. I can't say production, it's a market shares. They have overtaken Omega, Cartier. I think their Tang and their Santos is doing really very well. They hold really good second-hand values. I think Jensen is getting one for the wife, so he can talk about Cartier as well, not only me, right? So these are the few brands I think that is really good. So the latest post I posted now is I will talk about the big four plus three. So the big four is the four brands that I mentioned, which is Richard Mille, the PP, AP, and Rolex. The plus three is the Omega, the Cartier, and also VC. VC is Vacheron Constantin. So it is in the Holy Trinity, but it wasn't that liquid in this part of the world, meaning not in Malaysia. It is quite liquid in Singapore. It is quite liquid in the America. Yeah, but not everywhere yet. China and Hong Kong and Japan is quite liquid as well, but not here.
I just want to pick out one brand from what Mike just said. Vacheron Constantin. Go and Google Vacheron Constantin Everest. It's a fantastic watch. It's a great watch. It's a great looking watch.
I love the overseas, man.
Overseas?
Yeah, man.
All right, guys, I think we overshot our time.
Okay.
It's okay. But yeah, thanks so much for sharing. Definitely we'll build on a lot of what you said in the next coming weeks. And guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. Go like some of our stuff. Go watch some of our other videos, right? If you're a watch guy. And looking forward to seeing you in the next video. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.